Hello, my name is Russell Scott from scottcarvings.com, and what I'm going to carve today is using this pattern here. This is actually not mine. A gentleman or lady, probably gentleman, A.C. Riley from A.C. Riley Wood Carving. It's a very generic pattern, and so I thought I'd just try to take the challenge and see what I can carve from that. Go to his website. This is his, or I'm sorry, his Facebook site. He has this at 6 inches. Mine is 6.5. I just happen to have a piece of wood that was 6.5. I just didn't want to whack off that 1/2 inch. And so I'd added a little bit right here, so a little more body part to it. But then again, don't ask me for the pattern. It is his, A.C. Riley Wood Carving, on his Facebook page. Now, I'm not, it's very generic, and I mean, it's coming from him, and it looks like he signed it, so it probably is his. And then he also has some some pictures of some of the things he has carved. There's actually one that I'm interested in, is he did this Dracula. That's really interesting. But anyways, this one here, he says 6 inches. This is 6.5, but it's still an 1.5 inch block. And so what I want to try to make of it is one of my, I call it ugly sweater Santa, but instead, just recently had 2 people who are interested in Santa with his hands in his pockets. It's generic. They wanted a Santa with their children's college students' emblem, as it were, mascot. And this one here is University of Texas, and this one here is the UNCSA, the Fighting Pickles, and I believe that is a art college. And so these 2 children who are not children anymore; they're in college, and so that's what we're going to do, is a very generic Santa holding his hands in his pocket. And here's another one here. This one Lynn came up with. The head is much bigger, and the body is much stockier, and the head is turned. And she's starting to get into the head turning stuff too, which is good. And these are basically not fresh off the paint table. It's still on the paint table. I have not had a chance to finish doing my the shading and the highlighting, and so I thought I'll just give that chance there. And actually, this thing here, I want to get it to the point where there's less shadow, and I wonder if I have, because here's the thing I hate is shadow, too much shadow. So if I have that in the way, and hopefully when I get carving, that's the thing. It's very difficult. That's marked there. Anyways, ignore that. And turn this a little bit, because what's going to happen is that as I'm carving away, I'm getting it closer to me. And so I'm getting it, it'll get out of sight there. So, whereas if I go too high, unfortunately, this being a video, I do not have, call me right away, tell me right away if it's off. If you had the opportunity of doing some webinars or being in some of those Zoom classes, that you can do that. But here in this videos like this, it's like, I'm going to take my knife. I got an OCCT knife. 2 of them. One is, this one's called the Scout. It's just a smaller blade. I've used that. And here's one of these blocks here from Flex Cut. And I used this end here is a more coarser, as it were, because I think it's some kind of wood. I didn't bring the other. It comes with the they have that like a round tools and V tool sharpener, and it's made out of this kind of wood. And I'll give this a little quick here, just to get started, get it all. All right, there's that. Let's get going. Let's take the first tool, and then of course this is a pencil. And like I said, this is going to be relatively generic. I'm going to go down the center. Let's see, the other shoulders are here. And they do go, now, since his hands are going to be roughly around here, I may move that or widen it or whatever. That is about right. Therefore, the arms are going to be, I'm going to use all of this and get into here. Very simple. Practicing my drawing instead of sketching techniques. I had mentioned before that sometimes I would do this kind of a thing. So it's around here somewhere, and then the students would say, huh? As I mentioned before in another video, I took a class with Dave Stetson, and I brought this in, and is this where I carve? And he took that, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? And it kind of took me off guard. And you got to learn how to make straight lines or make sharp lines. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to, now I could do a little bit of that's what I do, a little bit of sketching at first to get the feel. And this is, you know, for me. And now if I make a bunch of lines and say, this is where you put this, and which one is it? What am I looking at? I'm going to move this forward a little bit. I think if we go here, maybe a little higher. All right, and then the pockets, because here's the pants. And what's going to happen with the pants is we got the kind of the bulk. Now this is kind of a thinner Santa, and we got this going on here. So I didn't cut that out. So you got the body and the legs come together. Unless if the legs are separate, then you would go out. But he's just standing straight. Like I said, I'm not going to do anything different with the head, to make the head turned or anything like that. And so if I bring, now in retrospect, if I were to bring the arm up a little bit, because what's going to happen is, I'm going to see, yeah, what's going to happen is that I want the beard to rest. See, with his pattern here, I don't have much. So now I'm going to be doing this. And I think that the shoulders will go in a little bit and the hair will go in, and we'll just have to, you know, feel our way through. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. The other thing too I want to be careful is to leave as much bulk right here. Remember, his hands is in the pocket. So maybe instead of, I'll go like this. Okay, he's going to make sure, because we want bulk while we're here. What I could have done too is you could take the saw and saw that in and separate the legs, but I just didn't want to. Not to be cantankerous, it just, or lazy rather. Oops, single line, and they separate from each other. So you're going to have actually a chip coming out of there as that separates. Now in here, we want something like this, because we want to try to get as much bulk as we can with this Santa. And now what I'm going to do, this is just for right now, just to get the feel. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. what I'm going, because what's going to happen is that the shoulder, not sure what we left off. I am using my flat plane cuts, taking some pieces off. That's what I did here on the shoulder. That is if I missed it. I gotta watch my camera because it cuts out every 10 minutes and I don't know where it is on the camera to get it back to normal, and how the heck did it get on a 10-minute timer in the first place. So from here I'm going to go cut in, and cut in. See, now we're getting somewhere. I'm going to just take a little bit off, round this a bit just to get the corners off. Same with up here. Just to take corners off because we're coming back to it. Just to get her started. Same with here. Trying to get some roundness in it. Now, even though it looks like it appears that I'm doing a flat plane, you can continue doing a flat plane, but I'm just getting wood off, and we'll do more cleaning later, rounding off later. I just want to start taking some saw marks off. And that should go this way then, if it goes one way. Same with the back. Oh, a little hiccup there. Again, rounding. Oops. Okay, now I want to take, again, this, remember, a little bit. I just want to go a little bit here. A little bit here. Ooh, not too deep. Careful, careful. I hope I didn't ruin it by going too deep. And I'll have to come back to this a little later. I just want to make sure I leave some roundness. This whole thing. Kind of choppy. Choppy right now. Same here. I am being attacked, or visited rather, by my cat. She's on the table, wondering what the heck am I doing? Again, we're just taking wood off to get the feel of what the heck is going on here. Make sure you got your thumb in front of you if you're carving towards yourself like this. It's really interesting. I took another class. This is a bird carving class. I had to get them out. Is the way he carves towards himself is like this. And as the blade, notice the blade is away instead of like this with the thumb. And of course, if you slip, you're not going to get the tip. Trying it to be a little bit like that. Now I want to, oops. Take the saw marks off. Same with on this side. All right, I think I wanted to kind of stop for a second here. cleanliness and give kind of a thus far. Now I know this is kind of, got a lot of, now I know we got a lot of pokies over here, kind of a lot of, let me get this out of here. Like again, I'm going to come back to this. I mean, I hate it when it's all scudgy like that, but I'll have to come back to this. Is the one that requires more, you know, roundness to it. But this is what I got so far. You know, almost like ignore this part. That's almost embarrassing, really choppy. But at least we got started. We got to start the belly. Now the arms we'll get rounding to that, and then the shoulders we'll get into that. Just rounding the head a little bit, just for now. Here, give it some good light. Okay, I want to get back to the feet. Pencil. Now you got the legs going up to the behind. Same with up here in the crouchal area. Keep an eye on my camera. Now you can take your knife and do this, but this is, to me, it's easier and quicker to use a V-tool. I mean, it's like if you do I don't know, some people do a bona fide flat plane is like it's a knife and that's it. And sometimes I like to just for the challenge, but I got to get a V in there once in a while. Okay, this kind of looks funny. That's because I carved some of this off and I didn't there. Hold on, I got to hit the dismiss button because my exercise telling me to exercise the alarm. I don't know, am I exercising now? Like I said, I'll shape more. I just want to kind of get started here, get a feel. I'm starting to shape, and I don't want to do that right now. This area here. Whereas when we come over here to start taking some of the leg off, just taking some wood off. Now the other thing that I don't like, other than these boogers here, you know, and always the audacity of you put the knife in, you put the knife down, it should pop off. And when it just doesn't do that, and it's not like trying to be like the Three Stooges and start throwing it around or slapping my face, but it is the audacity of it that it just don't come off. Now I'm going to shape the feet. The feet are too much Herman Munster-ish, so I'm going to take some of the feet off. Hand out of the way, just in case. All right, it's time to take some off. There's still too much boot. More boot. Get that boot. I got to stop. Oh, there goes some of my spiral notebooks. Yes, the cat jumps up, looking down at it like, oh, what was that? Trying to kind of keep it as clean as possible is what I want to do. I mean, my older videos, I don't care. It was rough at the beginning, but I'll take care of it later, kind of a thing. And but I've been taking classes lately, and if you have the opportunity, especially from the Character Carvers of America, I've carved with Ryan Olson and Dave Stetson and Carol Levy, and if you have the opportunity, take it. the teachings of Pat Moore's painting. Let's clean this up, and I want to. This table is starting to really bother me too, and probably bothering you too. This. Okay, that's a little better. Oops. Where's my egg? Oh, there it is right there. Just clean this a little bit. Oops. I may want to come back, hands out of the way, come back and do some more of the feet. The boots. Now he's not going to have a boot. He's just going to have a regular shoe on. So there's no real Santa boot. And again, we're just trying to take wood off. Now I'll just do this quick here before we move back up again. And again, this is a very rapid tutorial because trying to fit, well, this could be done in a day if I had a class. Trying to fit it in hopefully less than 2 hours. I'm going to go an angle like this, caricature foot angle. Careful, make sure that hands are out of the way, especially when it snaps out of your hand. That has happened several times. So I got to figure, I got this here, then I got this here, this here, this here. That should pop out. All right, and I will come back later. No, I got to finish this. I did do this. I think I did do that. Okay, and I'm going to come back. Now here, I got I put them kind of a Santa. What they wanted is a Santa that had this, so that's why I put the, what do you call it, the tufts in, so that it is the indication that this is a Santa Claus, that is. But okay, I'm going to come back up. We got this here, this here, V again. Now here's what I want to do. I want to be careful at what I'm doing here, because usually I get too hacky wacky. Now, I want this to be kind of forward a little bit. Now, generally, if this was a thin man, it would be kind of like this. The head would be, the shoulder to the head is like this, an older man. And that's what I want to kind of give. And then, of course, it would come down. Let's do this like this. It would be like this, and then it would be like this. But here's the deal: is he's a larger man. I want to keep this. So in other words, the back is going to be forward a little bit, even though, yeah, forward right there. And I'm going to take I like to take my V tool and use the flat just to get the feel of what we're doing. Don't mind the airplane going by. I got the window open. And then let's just move this forward here a bit. Now I just do believe some of this will still be taken off. There, okay, let's get the sharpness back in. So take that cut mark off. So there's something like this is what I'm trying to achieve. Now, can I get my knife in there? And you know what? Maybe I should leave it because I think there's more. Obviously, there's more on the shoulder that's got to happen here. But sometimes I like to kind of cut things that are kind of screwy because it just bothers me. Now let's get back to the shoulder itself, because I think a lot of what we just did may even go away. But I want to make sure I get this. And I think I'm bringing this up a little bit because like I want this to meet. Same here. And again, we can use this as a fisherman. Like you can have the hand out and holding the fish, or you can drill a hole and he can still have his hand in his pocket and it's a fisherman, or a hunter, or holding a football. That's the thing about this particular pattern of Mr. Riley, A.C. Riley, is that you can do it so generic. You can go look at his site and look at all that he's done with it. You know what, I do need to bring this back. I think what I just did may have just disappeared. But not completely. I want to keep some of this, like right here. It's that transition where the arm is out and the back is in, where here I want the back out. This little transition here, where in this case the forearm is in and the back is out, is what I'm trying to go for here. Be careful, I don't want to lose this head forward thing. I may have lost it. And then now we want the arm down and the back out. And we will clean that up a little later. Like I said, we're just kind of getting wood off here. And we'll clean these things up one at a time later. Oops, I may have pushed too much here. Okay. Now we got the back kind of thought out a little bit. Oops, careful. I may have taken too much off there. So the back I'm keeping right now. The front. Now here's what I want to do. I want to pencil this in now. You can always take it off. What's going to happen is what I got here is, you notice this going forward and these both kind of hanging down. And the thing is that a lot of this is going to go away. Like I said, I just want to put this pencil in to make sure that we follow, because it goes up, around and back down, and up and back down again. I'm going to use this right here. So I'm going to pencil that. And we'll come back to that because I want to get into the shoulder a little bit here, or get the arm out. Interesting, the grain. See, I can do it this way on this side. Now with this is what I wanted to keep. What is that? That's like wormwood. There. Is I want to turn this. Keep the belly round. Bring some more in. Yeah, it's interesting how you go to a different angle the way the grain is. You can go up on one side and down on the other. Okay, take that. The thing about having this V at this V tool at this manner kind of makes it kind of crappy. Using it as a real wood removing type of tool instead of what it's designed to do is just kind of cut a V for whenever you need just a V. A little bit of roundness. Like I said, I hate that when I cut, it's got to get out of there. So I do want to work on the hands a little bit. The arms, again, are going to, the forearm is going in, and there's not much on this as I would wish it to be more wider, but now this is the shirt, we're good, but the pants, because the pocket is in the pants. That's where the bulge is. Let me just round this a little bit and take a little while taking the saw marks off, shaping it going this way a bit, just a bit. I think we need to shrink that a little bit. Same with on this side. Let's take this, oops, it's interesting how one side the grain's one way and the other side goes the other. Now here's what I want to do. I like putting this in, even though it's a detail, but I like putting this in because it helps me round. So with this, I can round this to that point. Here I can begin to round this. Now I can probably make the arms deeper. But again, this particular design, it's a nice design, nice little practice design, or you want to carve something kind of quick and easy, or concept design. This is a good concept pattern if you have a concept design in mind. I mean, the pattern itself, you could still bring your arm around and have an arm here, and so you could be holding something like a fisherman hunter, hammer, whatever the gentleman, or make it a lady. I wonder if I'm going to take the challenge and make that into a lady one of these days. Now again, I want to round this. Careful, there's no separation here. There's no separation, and it goes round. And if it's too much, we can always come back and clean it up a little bit, because I think that I might be going down too far. But that, oh, excuse me, that is all right for now. See, roundness, no cut, no separation. And let's take, this is also a good time to take saw marks off, because you don't want to have it all done and it looks good, and oh, you got saw marks, and as you trim the saw marks, well, now it just ruined it. Now you got to do this all over again. So let's take saw marks off now. Now I need for the hand to be as far down into the pants. Let's see if I did this. Just take a look. I still need to shrink this a little more. You see, now we're getting more into really designing this from just taking off wood to full design and design concept. There we go. There we get straight. If you don't do it this way, practice, because I still am practicing. I'll tell you what, one of the things, the reason how I learned this, I've been carving, at this video, I've been carving for over 20, in fact, 25 years this year. Or no, 25 years next year. Next January. And carving all those, well, 25 years. And get kind of hacky. And you've seen all my videos on how hacky it can get. And then one time I took one of we do have a Lee Olson in our group, Ryan Olson. And when you go in there with the webinar, the Zoom, and you have the opportunity with the Wood Carving Academy, the website, you'll go to their Wood Carving Academy, the Wood Carving Academy, yeah, Wood Carving or Carvings Academy, and there is where, if you take a class, the video of what the instructor is doing, as long as they're associated with the Wood Carving Academy, will be put on that, and then you have, after the class, you got an extra, like a month-ish, I don't remember, a few weeks-ish, to see it again. Well, anyways, one time he gave a class, and I came in too late, and I said, if I can get in, so he allowed me to get in just as he was ending and doing the video. And that's what he did, is he cut here, and he cut there, and it snapped off and nice and clean, and I'm like, whoa, 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 slow down. How did you do that? And then that's when I discovered how the blade, the flatness of the blade generally should come nice and clean. Should, my favorite word. Flat. Instead of using the tip, here, let's do this. Sometimes I can do that. I can use the tip, come back with the tip. It might work. Oh, that kind of worked. But the thing is I discovered, instead of the sharpness of the tip, is as flat as you can at the end of the knife will work. And there's a little bit there, but I didn't cut deep enough. And that is just, to me, this is just amazing. It's just remedial wood carving 101 right there. Oh, it's like I've been doing it wrong all these years. Straight. Yeah, I didn't, because it's kind of curved there, so that's why. But it's much cleaner. I did do the V. I wonder if I can probably leave it at that, because I want to wait till see what's going on here first before I come back here in the back, is what I want to do. So I just want to get a feel for what the heck is going on here. Okay, if this is the pocket, see how it ends there? There's the pocket, and then there's his hand disappear. Now, this is going to be a sweater, and what's going to happen is I'm going to have this little cheffy thing here. So pencil, that's one good thing about pencil. You know, and what's going to happen is you're going to do this. And this is all hand. Now, I think what hand means is we could probably take about this much off, and his hand's coming down. And I am going to take one of my round tools, one of my Stubai round tools. Let's see how big this is. For the sake of, well, doing the job, number one, and making sure that I commit to what is right before I start, because I do get a little wacky-hacky. Let's see, there is the bulkness. Now it's a little deeper than it should be. I think I got a bigger one that would help smooth that out just a little bit. I think so, would it? Again, this is detail. I'm just going to kind of show you, just for the sake of figuring out where we're at here. V-tool. Now, usually I do one side, I'll do the other side at the same time, but just for the sake of, I'm going to do this to show you, and then I'm going to dig in and you just watch. Okay, same thing. Now, in this particular case, yeah, there's going to be the tip, but I'm trying to get it as flat as I can. And this is going to be kind of in more round this way, and this is going to go straight down. this way. And cut out again. See what I did is straight down here and then back, because we want this part to come out a little bit. And let's just take the knife and do a little bit more rounding, but don't get too wacky hacky. Now we can get down into the legs. From here on out, the legs should be the way they should be. Same with this side. I'm just gonna, like I said, it would be about here-ish. There's the sleeve, and like I mentioned before, this is just in case of it cut out. I'm gonna put this little webbing in there, or whatever they call that. Now what's supposed to happen, and I think I've screwed up on these, is this is more of a cut, because if this is some kind of a weave, this should be kind of more in. And I think I got too much. I think, let's see what Lynn did. Lynn do the same? Yeah, Lynn did the same. We need to turn it in just a little bit. We'll do that on this one here later. Like I said, I want to get the feel for these things. Now here is where I want to make sure this is about as straight as possible. Now here is where the curve is, the bulk is right here. And again, I will use my littler. This is a number 11. I still like my number 9s that I've been touting on my other videos, but number 11s, I think I'm getting more loving the number 11s. And then I use my larger number 11, probably about a 15 to 20 mil. And then right here, then from here on, the leg can be just the way the legs are supposed to be. Taking the knife and just rounding, just to let you know that there's a hand there. Same with on this side. And we want to make sure we keep our knife off of that when we start carving around here. So this one here, I think I could better, what I like to do is whatever you did on one side has to be to match on the other side. It doesn't have to be perfect, because, you know, we're not perfect. Put our hands in, and you can see, I think that's what I did, was I'm trying to, whoops, I think I made this too sharp. I didn't want that sharp, but I did it for the sake of showing. Showing, not telling. So with this, if I can curve this a little bit, just to add a little, now this I don't need bulk. Again, straight, just to make sure, because right here is still pocket. Pocket is still here. And we'll get back to the legs a little later, because you can see the legs are way off. I mean, we'll get back to it later, I just suppose, because it kind of bugs me now. Same with here, because I still want a little bit of bulk here, but then that bulk will disappear after here. Right here, that should disappear and start rounding to the butactal area there. Same with here, rounding the butactal straight, hopefully leaving a little bit of bulk, just a little bit of bulk, and then the rest is leg. And again, like I said, I'll come back later. But again, I always hate this, and because how, let me see if my scout will do a little better. And what you do is you do a cut and a slash. Now, of course, we could use like a number 7 or 5 to get in there is what we should do, but I'm just, again, doing this for now, and I'm slicing. And all you people who use box cutter tools, and those are nice, especially at the beginning if you sharpen them, but you can't get in there. I always use the word bending the blade, and then you're not bending the blade. And we'll just have to come back again with our numbers, number 7 or number 5. Huh. I just keep working and working. And okay, oh, same thing here. We're not done yet. On this arm, like I said, I want to do it a little bit, turn it a little bit, whereas the sleeve is up. The sleeve is up and the pants is down. I'm going to be careful when we're coming about to here. Again, straight down, straight back. No, maybe in an angle. Angle back, I'm sorry. Not straight. I still want to keep the bulkiness. And we'll come back to more details later. Here, let's do this. Let's get my way around right here, because that's not supposed to be sharp. And let's just... Okay, with that, I want to bring this down. Now, we're not going to have any belt. Here's where we're going to have a little bit of sharpness. It's old Sam Peabody o'clock. What is that, 10 o'clock? Yep. And then here, there's where the groin is, and the butoctyl should be like this, and it's going to be like this. Let's just do that quick. What happens here, this is wide and wide, 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 so like about 30 degrees. So you get the feel of that. And when you carve this, when we start doing details, when we start cleaning this a little bit, and you can see with this, I want to have a little bit roundness on the behind there. Again, still practicing my cutting techniques, because I think we can probably come up a little more. And that's why it's still a little hacky, but at least I want to get to the concept of what I'm doing. Same here, instead of using the V, I'm going to use the cut. That's on the tip. And then come in, so we can pretty well finalize that. Okay. Hands, everything else, leave that alone. There's quite a bit of adjusting. This has got to come up a bit. Oh, I forgot to do this on this arm. So this rounds. Again, there's going to be quite a bit of adjusting, but if we start, I want to say the word, committing our cuts here, working our way up. I'm going to put just a little bit of a tink here for the shoulder, a little bit here for the shoulder, a little bit of cleaning here, cleaning here. Now we're getting there. Before I leave the legs, like I said, it's almost getting close to the point of cleanup on the legs. And while I'm on the legs, I'll do this a little quickie here. Now, what's going to happen, let's put the crease in the back. Again, it's a detail, but it helps form, and I think it'll help take some of these off there. Let's say the knee is about here-ish. Therefore, this is about here. And the feet, might as well kind of finish this up a bit. Now, one of the things I've learned from Ryan, my good buddy Ryan, about the crease, and it's got to be kind of nice and wide. And then you come this way. And I like that. Thanks to Ryan. Make sure he gets credit for that. Even though I'm sure other character carvers use that. One of my favorite individuals, I think he's about to become a character carver, is Bruce Ankeny. Look at his, yeah, and Bruce Ankeny does have some good character carving on his Facebook site. And one of these days I'll carve some of his stuff just to get the feel of the caricature nuts. He does a great job. And one of my favorites is, of course, he did this little bust of actor Sam Elliott, who, you know, he was Buford in Gettysburg and all kinds of other things, cowboyish, and he's got that mustache, definitive mustache, and he really got that come way out, his mustache. I will carve one of those one of these days. Okay, I'm going to take my V. Just to get it started here. Oops. Again, it's a little different this way. Okay, let's cut this in. Hands out of the way. Make sure you get cut down. This is another thing I wanted to talk about too. Happens to me is you put the blade down and it does this chattering. It just kind of screech across. Is you got to get that angle down. Let's get back here, zooming in a little bit. Where's my pencil mark? Right there, is at the center. While I'm at it, I'm going to plug some of my stuff. I am scottcarvings.com, of course, and if you go to my site, scottcarvings.com, I sell my roughouts and some of my books. Check it out. Also on Etsy. I have it on Etsy as well. Also, you go to Amazon. I got some of my books on Amazon. I'm going to carve this light a little bit this way. And check it out under r.scott or r.m.scott. And there's where all my books are. In other words, it's like the typical binding books that you would purchase at wood carving store format. And I've got patterns. Some are just pattern books. One of the things recently somebody complained, said, well, all it is you took a picture of it and then you make it black and white as the pattern. And no, I did not. I do have this on my smartphone under camera called panoramic. And so what you do is you just hit the button and then you move from one side to the next and you get this nice panoramic view of something. Well, what I've discovered is if I were to lay this down and take my camera like this, it would give a more two-dimensional picture. And that's what you want in a pattern. Not take it three-dimensional and just simply make it black and white. So no, I do try to make it as two-dimensional as possible. So please check it out. Now what I'm going to do is bring this back a little bit. Now one of the things that I neglected in these other two, after I get this thing here, talk about one thing and carving another is not particularly, is I want this to be more a fold here, kind of sort of like a fold-ish kind of a thing. So here we get back to my flat plane carving swipes. Also, I've done some, I now write novels, though it is mostly mystery, but there is in the background secondary characters that are wood carvings that come to life. It's more Scandinavian backstory, and they're there to kind of help. And it's very difficult to, you say, oh yeah, these wood carvings come to life. Oh, so it's a book on, it's a children's book then. No, it is not. It's just how to try to come across and actually doing a story that is not a child's book. But so check them out. And just recently I've been doing it in putting an audio book from. That's cool. That's fun. So check that out too. So I'm going to do this little scoop here and here to kind of help bring the knee cap out a bit. Oops. I want to bring the sharpness back after I've done that. Same with this, bring that sharpness back. But check it out. It's under r.m.scott on Amazon. And check it out. So just kind of bring this in a little bit. Now, one of the other things that I've learned, this one might be a little bit, you can make it a little bit, not too sharp, just, yeah, it's kind of, that's good here. It says here, I miss it. And I'll get back into this cleaning up. I don't want to waste your time. You're trying to clean up now. This is another thing that I've learned is before you would see I put this kind of a thing in. Now that's okay. But this is the one, and you pass through that middle line, and it's more wider. One of these, and you come back over here, same thing on this side. It's very wide, and you cross over the center line. And you see how you get this nice little zigzag here? Let's do that again. Pass the middle line. Oops, a little wider. And here, I can probably come down here. Also check out some back issues on, let's pass the line, I gotta fix this, on Wood Carving Illustrated. I do have a book out there, Undercover Santas. Again, a little detailing later. I just want to get the feel of what's going on. Now here it's not, I'm going to put just a little bend. Now there's probably, I'll put one of these in, nice and wide. And one of these probably down here, kind of nice and wide. Probably right here. It's not directly across. Again, I'll come back with these details here. A little cleanup later. I just don't want to waste my time, rather your time. Sorry, your time on doing stuff like this. But here, this will also bring the knee out a little bit. Just a little one of these here. And then you could do a little bit of, make it imperfect instead of flat plane. Okay, as for the feet, let's finish the feet so we can move on. What I want to do is make sure a little bit of a twist in here. Just a little bit of a twist in here. A little bit of twist, because what happens is that the ankle or the heel is in, and just a little bit, just take a little bit of this off. Take the sharpness off. Same here. Now you look at some of these cowboys, they got this way up. Very card cowboy character, but I don't want it too much up. And there is this. I want to at least put this in for the heel. Now in my others, I think I might get too forward on that one. I put the sole in. I'm not going to do that right now. Here, this is what I did here. Take the V tool, draw that in. Oops, this one's better. I know what happened on the other side. And put these lines in. Again, not going to do that too much now. Start moving up again. Let's get this in. Let's get this in. This. I think we can probably move the grain up just a little bit. And I don't want it too sharp. I want it to go more in. Again, more in the detail. A lot of cleaning up. Same with the, let's just shave off some of this. And rounding, continue rounding. Continue rounding. I want to get cracking on the head now. Okay, clean, kind of got it started. I'll be cleaning up a little more. Come back a little later. Oops, there was a scrape there. I don't like the scrape. Cut, not scrape. Cut, a little bit of scrape. A little bit of not rightness. So like this on down is fairly decent. I mean, there's still quite a bit of detail. Yeah, let's take some saw marks. There's still some saw marks off. Saw marks on there. Just want to say, so it's all yours, not the saw. Okay, detailing later. I did get these in. We'll do the same in the back. Again, I want to keep working with it. Time for the head. Now I want to get back kind of my flat plane cuts. Now for him, now here's the shoulder. The shoulder's coming up, and he's going to have a bald head. Now this is going to be a little difficult because he's going to have a larger head. And before I do any farther, or starting with the details, let's round this then. I think we may even have to take some of that head off too. I'm not sure. Or on the other hand, we could put a hat on him. I didn't think of that. I mean, if it's too big, if his top of his head is too big, let's put one of those I'm gonna call it beanie hats or winter hats. Let's see how this works. Let's pencil this in. Like this is a little bit of design 101. That's what I want to teach. I want to teach more of designing, more of coming up with your own instead of just carving something from somebody. Okay, so from top of the head, now that there's going to be a beard, it's going to come around, I want to say a little bit like right here, and a neck. So the head is from here to here. And so the eye will be here. So I think we might be okay. He's still going to have a big head. We want some extra wood because we're going to do the ear. There's the nose. He's got a big nose. I think we can come back. I think we're good. Just to get the nose. And then I'm going to do this. One of these, just like I did kind of with the bottom of the pants. It's much wider. Oops, 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 careful. I think we're still okay. I'm gonna snap that back. So we're getting there. He's getting there. Oops, careful. One of these. One of these. Away from the nose. Then up to the nose. Now look at it again. And again. Cut again. And again. Now this is different from my old style when I've been using like the chip carving kind of a thing. I want to do this to this just to round it. I think I want to be careful about the nose. Careful. I'm going to bring the nose up, but careful, because I've done that. Just as of yesterday, as a matter of fact, I cut a nose off. Now I want to keep shaping. So if we shape the nose, that's going to be like that. Therefore, the forehead's going to come back. And we will keep shaping. Okay, we're still here. Yeah, take a little break. So now I have to readjust everything. Sorry about that. I did this. I have to put another X down. And X. Where did my X go? Okay, maybe a little higher. All right. I was getting the head started. Now what I want to do, I want to put the ear in. What I'm going to do to start with is the head or the ear. And since this is going to be bald, the ear, let's get the center line. Should be in the center and go back a little bit. Part of it is, then it's going to go to the eyebrow and about the chin. Or I'm sorry, not the chin, about where the mouth or above the mouth. I'm going to give it a little extra. We can clean it up later or adjust later. So other people got these. I can't get the hang of some of these. They go something like this, and it probably would help some. Probably get there, but sometimes it don't work with me. Just above the brow, about under the nose, about the upper lip-ish, and then as much as we can back here. And what I want to do, yeah, it does, the reason why it is kind of funny is I got more cut here than here, but I think we'll be all right, give or take-ish. And I want to make kind of a commitment, that block, make sure we don't lose that block. In here. Okay. Okay. I'm going to pencil this in. This is going to go away just for you to get a feel. What's going to happen is that the jaw is going to be like this, but I want to have bring it back for the beard in here for the back of the head. Like I said, that's going to go away, but I want you to understand that as we're getting started. And you know what, to tell you the truth, let's do this. We want the beard to come out more. I'm just thinking about that. Let's bring the beard out more, so no, we can let us commit to, there you go. There. And there. Let's do that. Now we'll take the hair back just a little bit. Because what's going to happen is a lot of this, the ear is going to come at this kind of an angle, so some of this is going to go away. But I wanted to at least kind of commit to something like this. Fingers out of the way. I put a little bit of power down. and I'm pulling at the same time. I want to take a little bit of this off. I'm going to leave the beard for now because, like I said, when we get to the ear, it's gonna come at this angle because we want the top of the ear out. So a lot of this, and then I want to try to keep this if I can, the beard coming out because we don't have much here. Now the reason why this particular model has got a smaller beard, or shorter beard, I'm sorry, shorter beard this way instead of it coming down nice big Santa, is because we wanted to put a pattern on there. And this again, you can have this as an ugly sweater Santa. Go online and find pictures of ugly sweaters like a reindeer. That's one of Lynn's favorites, is reindeer. The ugly sweater reindeer Santa, and paint something kind of relatively easy. Shaping that a little bit, pardon me. All right, let's get cracking. Now I want to just start to put right here, come down like this. This is kind of the same as what my old stuff. It's almost like your this little nice little mustache right there. And we want to go like this. We want some cheek like this. We have nice and cheeky. Now this is going to be kind of a big, almost to the point of a bobblehead. You can shrink this quite a bit. As a matter of fact, it is probably going to get shrunk. Well, it is going to shrink quite a bit. Here's my eraser. Taking some of this off. Because this is going to come down a little bit, so we want this to be about here-ish. Pardon me. Right here-ish. That's better. Take the V tool to commit to that. V tool to commit to that. Around. There we go. Round this a little more. Sharpen this a little, oops, a little more to fit the other. Okay. We still got light. Light is kind of, am I still lighted? Since we're getting in the head, hopefully that'll stay in the center. Hopefully. Okay. So what I want to do is, again, to commit a little more of this. So we're going to go with the cheek before we get into the mustache. I just want to get a little cheeky first. Try to use this, okay, fingers out of the way, because I'm pushing down. Try to use as flat as I can. Same with back here. He's not cooperating. Flat, flat. Flat again, flat tip. That's the full flat, is the full blade. See, that's why it didn't come out so clean. Same with on this side. Well, this should be a little easier, I think, being upside down. Flat, oops, a little bit of tip. Now we got it started. Let's take some of the pencil marks off so it won't be in our way. Or distraction, pardon me, won't. Get the distractions out. Okay, again, more cleaning up. I just don't want to waste too much time, your time of cleaning up. I can always clean that up later. Pencil down again, and I always liked it because of this. You can have them as it as a down I always like doing the happy. I call it the happy mustache. You can have it go down like this if you wish. If you want something like that, or probably the same thing, kind of like he's. That's really interesting. You know, you can have the head, or no, it would be this way because this would be a closed eye, and this would be an open eye, and this would be scrunched this way. That's getting too far. That's getting too far. Too much. I've done that once. I got to keep practicing on those. Where if he's winking, his face is going to be scrunched, and then this is going to be up, and the face and the cheek is going to go up. I'll practice. I'll do one of those one of these days. A video of one of those one of these days. Okay, finger out of the way, thumb out of the way if I can. Flat as I can with the tip, which is going to be a bit difficult as opposed to it having butt. I always talk about butt up, but I don't do that as much anymore. You have to, there's a time where you do need that tip, but most of the time you don't. Not sure where we left off. Oh boy. I brought the ear down. I haven't worked on this one yet. I'll do it again on this one, whatever we messed. Ear down. Let's start bringing the ear out. And while we're doing this, we're rounding. I don't want to take too much on the hair. So you want to round it though. Careful with the hair, but with the baldness, start with the baldness. We're kind of relatively committed that that's where the top of the hair is going to be. Now we can take some of this out, only some. Okay, we'll come back to the head, the bean a little bit, and we'll come back to cleaning as well. Let's take this off, and then again we'll be doing more shaping later. I like to have that beard out a little bit more, not as much. It's kind of, there we go. More shaping later. Okay, here's what I want to do with this ear. Is I want to clean it, clean this, and right about the eye area, I want to put the little, somebody told me what that is. I always, just as a joke, I call it the ear uvula, like the thing that's in the back of your throat. It's the ear's version of it, and somebody said, that's not the uvula, it goes in the mouth. I know it does, I think Lynn told me what that was. Or somebody else told me what that was. Write it on your comments below. What is that? It's a piece of your ear? I don't know. Now I'm going to kind of cone out the ear. Sometimes I would cone the ear first and concave. Cave meaning going in. And rounding at the same time. I wonder if my Scout will do a better job. Oh, it does. The thing that I really like about the OCCT is how they have, it doesn't come to a sharp point, but a sharp point, but I think it adds extra strength to the point by doing that. So it's different than others. Then I want to go about half here, straight down, and deep and hard, down, down, and we want to take that chip out. So in other words, it's now we're going from convex to concave. Now we're going in and creating the listening hole around the ear uvula, or whatever it's called. don't want to give it the Fred Flintstone ear where all you did is that. And holy smokes, there is a lot of cleaning up to do and a lot of, probably get some chisel on it. And again, I don't want to take too much of your time, but I do want to present a good carving is what I want to do. Get a good carving presentation. All right. We'll come back to this one a little later, more detail. But generally, or here, let's take the V tool just on the edge. And the reason why I should not do this now, like I said, I'll do one at a time just in case, since it cut off the last time, I don't know how much, is you want to shape one ear and then the other. And if the other is not right with the first, then you either adjust the first or the other. And that's why you didn't want to get too much in detail. Okay, same thing here. Hands out of the way. Make sure you got that, take only a little at a time. Make sure you got the thumb down there. There we go. Okay, a little more. The top has to be the upper. Top has to be the top part, if that helps. Again, turn. And it's got to go where this one went. That's about right. A little here. So we'll start with this one, the big part. And like I said, I still want to keep the hair. And this has got just a little bit. Turn. Turn. Now what we want to do next is right here, sharp, down, and then it's got to go in this way because we want to tuck the ear under the hair, because the hair is sticking out. Now this time I'm going to do this a little different. I'm going to cone this right now. Cone it first. The shape. Show one here. Now, while we're at it, let's get this. I still want to keep some of that hair, that back hair. A little bit of cleaning just because it bothers me. And pull this up a bit so it matches this. The other side, oops, I think I may have to take out too much more than I should. We'll come up with, be doing some detailing later. Get this, we want the ear to come up towards us, so therefore, and we want to, this is relatively committed. Careful when you do something like this, very careful, just small chips, because you don't want to just push down and womp down, and there goes the ear, and there goes your finger. Oops, didn't want to do that. Now we can kind of start in on the back. We got the ear in. Womp on the back a little bit, careful. Now on around this. This. little more rounded on this side before I want to get to the top of the hair there. Or actually, no, before oh, excuse me, the hair. Let's get this in on this side. So we got to do a little of this. Are we still in? Right there. In and in. Let's do the same thing. So I'm going to go away from that bump. Away from it. This time I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to do this. And then when we round it, concave, cut. Cleaning, still a little bit of cleaning, just because it bothers me. It the bother me. Same with on this side. Well, man, sorry, I gotta get back to that ear, but I wanted to. All right. Now I gotta finish this. I think it's about halfway in, and like I said, nice and deep. Dig deep, deep, deep down. All right, make sure that it's about the same. Oh man, I hate it when it does that. Well, I hate it when it doesn't cut all the way. Compare. Okay. Still a little more cleaning, not cleaning, just kind of bringing this out. Okay, let's do a little quick. You know what I have? I do have a brush. Oh, am I getting out of view here? Here, let's. Oh, yeah, I looked at with my knife, and the knife hits the metal. That's really cool. Yeah, I've. What are you here? Let's see if this will help. Me blowing on it and trying to get her cleaned up. Now I need a more coarser brush. I don't have a. Need to get a more coarser brush. Okay, here we go with the latest. We're going to get into a little more extra detail here and there. Oh, yeah, fixing and oh my word. Cleaning. I'm kind of looking in the back a little more because that's the next thing I want to do. Oh man, I'm just cleaning up here and there, just get those little buggers out of there. But let's move on. How round are we here? Let's take this off. this is probably the last of the saw marks. Now, again, we have got cleaning up, straightening up, but a couple of things I want to do. We're getting close to the end here. Let's give this a right now look. Let's turn it so the light is on there. There's the head. Because as you can see, there's at least one more thing we got to do on the head. That is this right here. Come across. Yada yada. Take the V tool. You want to tilt it more towards the bean, the cap of the skull. And I'm going to take a little bit more off, so it'll be that much less I have to use with the knife. So you get the knife under there. Another character carver that's, I almost want to say, coming around. That's really his name. Blake. Oh, what's his last name? Oh boy, I was about ready to say Blake Edwards, but that's an actor. He is the International Association of Wood Carving on Facebook, and we do have Zooms. This right now is the summer months, so we don't only see the once a month, but when we get out of the summer months, then it'll be once a week. And we'll have all kinds of carvers come in and teach their. But Blake, he's a pretty good character carver. I think, I don't know, like he's getting better, really improving. Most of the stuff, I think he's starting to turn his heads and stuff like that, but I think he's just trying to get the, and that's what I'm trying to, he's way ahead of me now. I got to catch up to him. I'm going to get the eye, I'm going to put the eye a little bit like this. Okay, so we got some three-dimensionality on the eyeball. Cleaning up. Another thing I want to do is, if you want to, let's put a little mouth in him. Get him a little mouthy. Now you can use the V. Now the V is, let's see if I got a smaller V. Oh yeah, this one's a little smaller V. Or a round tool is probably more like it. I like the V because it's more definition. And okay. Now I am not going to put eyeballs in. Again, if you want to see eyeballs, oops, I did scraping. Check out my other older sites. I think I need to be using my Scout here. And I'm just going to paint the eyeball in because this is too small to really do it justice. I mean, if you want to check out my older sites. But before I do end with the face, two things I want to do. First of all, I want to put in a little bit of the beard. But what I want to do with the eye is this. And oops, not too far up. Careful. Keep control with your thumb. And then a little bit of this. And then clean this, because we want to get some eyebrow bone on the skull. Oh, I think I neglected to clean this up a little bit. Straighten that up a little bit. And that's why I cut this extra cut here that I just did, because it takes the anger out of his face. And then I'm going to do a scoop. There's the eyebrow bone. Let me take some of this off in there. Cleaning some of this off. Now the eye might have to be a little more adjustment here. Let's widen his eye a little bit here. And there's just, again, adjustments here and there. I'm getting to the end here. I just want to do a quickie on my latest of what I do with beauty. My older site is make a little wavy. I'm going to do more of the caricature or folk art style beard here. And that's by using a round tool. Goodness, there is so much to clean. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste your time telling you that I don't want to waste your time. Now, I like a number 11. This is about a 15-ish mil. And just put some of this in. Come up and then come back down. So you can kind of get the gist of what's happening. While I'm here, just to hit that, let's hit the mustache a little bit. You might, what is that? Oh, it's our garbage pickup out there, that high pitch. I don't know if the camera caught that high pitch. Actually, today is not regular garbage day. We just had the 4th of July. And during the week, you know, the garbage comes at a day later. This is day later. Now I want to kind of stagger this a little bit. Turn it a little bit. And you can put more English to it or whatever. Oomph to it. And of course, if you, oh, whoops. And you can use a smaller round to it, and you don't have to use a number 11, number 8, 9 will do, V will do. You don't want it to have too machine-like, because we want it to be as natural. Now here, when you're up here, it's going to be a little, just a little bit, and then maybe down here if you want him to have a shaggy, because it should come up a little more if you're going to have no hair. Let's come back here. Let's come back here. And generally, that's when I want to say, well, okay, before I go, I'll give you what I'm trying to do here. This. Oh, be careful, not too sharp or deep. Not too deep. Now you could do this to his. Okay, here I want to pencil this in. Make sure I got this right. Same with here. We're going to V this. Oops. Or you can take a knife too if you don't have a V. Let's clean. I'm going to clean that right now. Same with back here. Even though I'm going to have to adjust I'm pretty well comfortable with the bottom part of his back. It's just at his top, I think I'm going to kind of look it over a bit here. Let me see, can I erase this? That and just a little more where the shirt is higher than the pants. And then I'll take my V and just keep this some parallel lines and try to make it as about even as you can. Doesn't have to be. I think my V tool needs some sharpening. Same with here. Oops, not too wide. Okay. I think we go this way. And this way. And we are 99 44% done. As far as now, if you want to, let's see. I'm going to take a look here. Let's clean this up here. Do we want to? We might want to do this. Do this. I think because it's tight enough. Sometimes I'd have the beard so far down. I'll just do the back so it's implied. So we'll do the back. The back is implied, or the front is implied because the black proves it, that we want the collar. And again, I want to give this a little extra take away from the shirt with the collar, which actually should be. All right, now this is going to be fun. It's just getting a smaller V in there. Probably I was wondering even smaller, but I think we're good. Okay. Now again, a lot of cleaning up because we are done. Relatively, I want to do this a little bit of cleaning here before we go, because what I also want to do, I mean, I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to come back and show the cleanup. Okay, I'm going to leave that because what I did here, putting this in, you can probably do a little bit because it's a ragged shirt, you know, put some of this. Ooh, still got some saw marks on there. Maybe a little bit of this. I'm going to do relatively the same here as I did back here. Again, I'm going to work on it a little bit and come back and just show you. But there we get. There we be. There we are. There we are then. There we are now. Oops. There's the face again. Beard. With the number 9, small 9. There's, I forgot to put this guy in. Put him in. I think sometimes it'd be best if it's closer to the edge. I think I got too far in. Oops. Again, I'm going to clean that up. Let's do that again. So I got to bend it to the light. A little shaggy here. And like I said, enough so I can paint in the eyes. Get the eyeballs in there. Now you could, if you want to put, why not? Usually I kind of paint it in, but let's just put some don't care to use the V. Sometimes I do. And I got it too far forward, too far up and down. That one's better. I'm going to bend this a little bit more. Come back and clean it up some more. There's all kinds of cleaning up. You want the eye to be as round, so when you paint it in, I think you might have to go a little deeper around here. I'll do that for the eye. Mouth is kind of okay, clean up. He's got some cookie crumbs in his mouth there. And as for the leg, cleaning up is what we got to do. I want to go a little more deeper in there. Let me see where's my scout? Just put a little more shadow in there. Even though the legs are together, I want a little more shadow. See, there's quite a bit more shadow in there. Well, here it is, done. And it has a nice little background here, so you can really see that, because that's Ethel there, who's trying to get in my way. There's always still, even though I cut and screeched, but one of the things is that when I paint it, a lot of that, a lot of that goof ups will kind of go away, and especially when you put a wax on it. Oops. There it is. Ethel, what do you think? What do you think, Ethel? Is that a good piece there? What do you think? Is it that you want me to pet you? That you're on my table? What is that? You don't even care? Anyways, there it is. There's the detail. Let's get up there. Well, let's get some light in there. I gotta get back here. Sorry, get you a good light here. Get light up. There we go. A little better. There we go. Like I said, it's quite a bit of cleaning yet to do, and oh my goodness, I've done so much. And when I did thin this, I forgot this. This is in this way and this way. That's what I did, just a little bit of thinning the cuffs, as it were. And I think nothing else other than I did sharper cuts right there. And like I said, when you paint that, I'll probably give it another brush or something. Especially when I clean it, I have that Scotch Brite. What is it, a sponge with Scotch Brite on the other side, or green Scotch scrubby. I'll probably get some more of that off. But there he is, our version of the, let's put that right there. Oh, Ethel don't like it. Oh, you be quiet. You're the one who's in my spot. You're invading my territory here. Here's an old one here. Not the old one, what am I saying? And like I said, make it an ugly sweater Santa. Or you can turn the hat a little bit. Like I said, he's not done yet. I haven't done the shading and everything, but that's just the way that one goes. But anyways, there you go. Nothing more. You can do all kinds of things with this shape, and a pattern from A.C. Riley wood carving. Check out his well, you're the one who wants to be part of this video. You are. You always want to be part of this video, don't you? Yeah, she's looking at me angry because I'm touching her backside. She doesn't like being touched in the backside. But anyways, enough about talking about backsides. There it is. Till next time. Ethel, what do you think? Yep, her name's Ethel because she was the second cat, the first one named Lucy, and she's gone now. Yeah, she's mad because I touched her backside. She is not a cat that likes to be touched on the backside. You know, most cats, you like to scratch their back and they love it. This one doesn't. Yeah. Anyways, till next time, Ethel, say goodbye. Goodbye. F. Hey. Well, say goodbye. Here. Say goodbye. Till next time. Look at that face. She's bad. And there it is.